Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the show. I need to tell you my favorite thing that is going on this summer. Okay, so I get a lot of magazines, right? I get a lot of subscriptions. I've got the fashion ones, I've got the gossip ones, my guilty pleasure, and I tend to save them all. Whenever I'm, for a while I was like kind of hoarding in my trunk when I was like going to doctor's appointments, but then I went on vacation with my family and my mom was like, why do you have 25 magazines with you? Like my back hurt from carrying them all. And it's because I feel like I don't have time to read them, but I'm going to find a time. Okay, listen to this. Next issue is the most genius thing I've ever heard of. It's like the Netflix of magazines. You pay one price and you get unlimited access to your favorite magazines. It's so easy. It's every magazine that you want to read. They have for men, women, ESPN, Sports Illustrated. For fashion, they've got Allure and Vogue and Elle and Cosmo. If you're in entertainment, Us Weekly, People Magazine, you got it. It's every magazine you want, which if you went to the airport and you were going somewhere, you'd buy a magazine, it would cost you $8. And now you could spend $9.99 and get every magazine you want. Oh, here's a good part. Share it with 5 people. You pay that one price, I could give it to my friends, you could give it to your family, you can read it on your tablet, on your smartphone. I just think this is brilliant, and I want you all to have a free month. So check it out if you like it. It doesn't even cost you anything. Go to nextissue.com/EM, like Emily, but just M. That's nextissue.com/EM, and you get a free 30-day trial. So check it out. It's going to change your summer. It's going to change the way you do business, the way that you read and consume. It's amazing. It's freaking me out because I love it so much. That's nextissue.com/EM.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. Well, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
Listening to Sex with Emily. Do you ever wish you were a fly on the wall of an epic girl talk? The ones that you imagine like we're sitting around, we're talking about sex, dating, what we really want in bed, what we're not telling you, fantasies, stuff like that. Well, that's what this show is all about. I've got amazing guests on the show. I'm also here with Menace, and it's going to rock your world. So thanks for listening. You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com, where you can listen to all of our podcasts, sign up our mailing list, check out our blogs. You guys, some people, you might not want to listen every day. It might be hard for you. We do 2 podcasts a week, but there's also great stuff on our site about a lot of things that we talk about. So check that stuff out.
All right,
what
good.
Up, Menace?
Hey, how you doing?
You're like, good. Get over that. What? Go.
Something really cool happened. I was doing the morning show here in LA, and somebody called in from Ecuador and says that they listened to the Sex with Emily podcast.
Really?
Yeah, and then they were listening to the morning show that I do. It was crazy.
That is crazy. Dude, we're just taking over.
And they go through like some crazy process where they can listen to your show and then the morning show, the Woody show that I do, where they like log into the internet in America from Ecuador. It's insane. But
That's
so
a lot
they go through a lot of
Emily.
a lot of effort to listen to the show. So shout out to them.
That is a shout out to my
Pretty crazy.
Ecuadorian fans and our Australian fans. I know I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but for some reason, Menace, I don't know if you were on the show when I mentioned this, that we had 6% of our listeners from Australia last year, and now 30%.
Wow.
And I don't know,
crazy.
they're getting down there.
Yeah.
They're getting down in Australia. So I welcome my Australian listeners, and I love you all for listening. It's awesome. So
That's
tell me
great.
what's going on in Australia. Like, what don't we know? Just
Yeah.
a new crazy sex move. Okay, I am here with Anna David.
I just had a thought about Australians. That's all I was raising my hand.
Danielle.
Okay.
Okay, go. Tell
Wait,
me about
finish
it.
the intro and then I'll say.
No, I mean we're good. We're rolling. I mean, I love the show because I invited 2 guests back that have been on the show several times, and you guys are awesome. Danielle, Anna was just on recently. We did a show about online dating.
We did.
And that was super fun.
Super
and Danielle was on talking just about everything sex.
My disastrous dating life
Yeah,
and
that
sex
was a
life.
hilarious show. Danielle Stewart, and we're all friends, BTW. And I'm like, let's just have a girl talk with some menace here who can pitch in.
I'm one of the ladies.
You're looking very
I
feminine
wanted-
Oh, thank you. I'm always looking
And I
very
wanted
feminine.
to get into some stuff about, like what we, like the kind of things that we talk about that people are like, do girls, really talk about? But what is going on in our dating lives? How it's changed, how we approach people about what we want in bed, fantasies. We're just going to get into it. But what were you going to say about, and then I'm going to give all your handles and stuff in a minute. But
It was
go ahead,
it
Anna.
was so not worth disrupting for my comment about
It's
Australians
fine.
who are the most fun people you will ever meet. So no wonder they're interested in sex. And they drink a lot, let's be honest.
Yeah, they
and
do.
sometimes those things can go together.
Every time I have friends that visit, say it's like one of the best times that they ever had.
Australians?
Yeah,
when they go to Australia and
Right?
It's
check it
like
out.
they're down under. Like that's their logo. Their like
Right.
tagline is "We go down under." I mean,
New Zealand, not the same. I went there. It was
I know,
really
and then they
boring.
beef
Not
with
the
each
same.
other. They're like, I am not from Australia. I am from New Zealand.
It's like the
And
San
all right.
Francisco LA
Keep
fight.
that quiet.
Yeah,
better
it's
It's like the
than
San
Australian.
Francisco LA fight, but no one in LA knows that they're in a fight with San Francisco.
Yeah.
Same with the New York
So true.
LA fight. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got like we love New York, we love San Francisco. What's your problem with this?
Right.
I know.
Right. Everyone hates LA. Exactly. So everyone in San Francisco, they don't like it. But it's cool. We love each other. So Anna David, she's an author, a journalist, has her own goddamn podcast you should all listen to. It's called After Party Pod. She's the creator of After Party Magazine, a company dedicated to trying to show addicts, sober and not sober alike, and loved ones of addicts what recovery can be like. And she's a really good friend of mine. At Anna B. David on Twitter, at After Party Site on Twitter.
Yes, it is.
And then your website, afterpartypod.com?
AfterPartyMagazine.com, and you can get the podcast there.
That's perfect. Danielle Stewart,
that's me.
that's Danielle Stewart. DANIELLE Stewart, STEWART.com.
Like John.
This is all my
Like
website.
Rob.
Like John, that's easier. Danielle at DanielleStewart.com, at The Danny Stew. We'll do this all at the end too. It'll be on our website, on Twitter at The Danny Stew, and Facebook.com/The Danny Stew.
You got it.
And Danny has done a lot of things. Danny is just hilarious. She's a comedian. She's a writer. She writes at After Party Magazine. She recently hosted the AVN Awards.
That's
which
right.
She rocked. She killed it. Friends were sending me pictures because I told everyone to look out for her, which they're like the porn. They're like the Academy Awards of
For porn, yeah.
And you were killing it. People
Thank
said, like,
you.
oh my God, your friend's so good. Because like I was so proud that you were doing it. I was like, oh my
And
God,
you were
Danielle's
also
doing it.
scared I was going to bomb.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, I kind of know her. And I'm like, she's my best friend.
And as a comedian, like how do you keep a straight face and not, when the girls are crying for best anal and stuff like that?
I think Danielle takes it pretty seriously.
Oh, I'm very serious about it. I think it's funnier when actors cry about their Academy Award.
Definitely.
I'm like, you got paid like millions of dollars. These girls are getting paid like the same as me.
Yeah.
And they have to take like fists in the ass and stuff. So like I respect them more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I'm so obsessed with myself that I'm not even thinking about what they're saying or doing. So
At least you can admit that. So, so I thought we would launch in here. Is there anything else that I missed that you guys would like to talk about? about yourself? Well, at the end we'll promote it. But
No.
I want everyone to feel good.
Well, just my sex credibility. I was the sex, dating, and relationship expert on G4's Attack of the Show for 4 years.
A very
Anna,
popular
that's
show.
true. That's true. Anna, that's how we met. Like, I still think of you as that until recently.
We met, sort of. We've talked about this before over our shared sex work.
Right.
Oh, does that not sound
I know, we were
crazy?
sex workers. We met over our sex work. And my ex had a crush on her. She doesn't remember.
Yeah, please.
But yes, she's very well cred. And Danielle's very well slept
Endowed.
around.
Yeah.
Endowed. No, I've never heard all of your like crazy sex stories, Danielle.
Yeah.
I haven't done your stand up, and Anna's always like, "Oh, talk to Danielle." I mean, we've talked about other things, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I would like to get into it. And the first thing I wanted to read, though, there's 20-something sex versus 30 and 40-something sex, and we're like all in our 30s, something like that, a little bit of 40s. So this study came out, 89% of women between the age of 45 and 55 are super experimental in the bedroom. And it also says that women in their 40s have a much better chance of orgasms, and their 30s.
100,000%.
Yeah, and in your 20s, women not so much, which doesn't surprise me because you're not as comfortable with yourself. So, what do you guys think about this? How is the biggest difference you've noticed in your sex life from your 20s to your 30s now?
Oh my God. I mean, I was sleeping, around a lot in my 20s. And I was energetic and enthusiastic, but not skilled. I mean, maybe the skill was that like I showed up and I had like a smile on my face.
Enthusiasm is the one.
Exactly.
The attitude is
I had an attitude of gratitude about it, but I certainly wasn't. Well, first of all, I was drunk, so that's
There's that.
I'm a sloppy drunk. Like I've peed, passed out, like the whole thing. So, that's not good. But so into my 30s,
Sober now.
Right, sober now. But I kept hearing that we were going to have like this, the sexual peak, right, is like 35. That's what I heard. And I'm not, none of us are 35 yet. But as I near 35, I didn't really feel that happening. But I will say that I understand my body now. And I'm in a relationship where I know exactly what I like, and I'm able to communicate that with him. Actually, you know what? I haven't had to actually communicate it. There's it's hard with the direct communication. Like, excuse me, my clit's actually over there. That's hard. Thankfully, that's not the case. But in terms of knowing what I like, I'm able to moan at the right times, and so to give him
to guide him through your voice.
Exactly.
So non-verbal communication.
Direction.
Yes.
So this is a new guy.
Yes, and
He's so cute. I met him at
so
we had an
cute.
epic birthday party.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very
cute. So you haven't had to give him direction.
No, I mean not
moaning.
anything other than just typical couple adjustment. We seem to have, and that's just luck. We seem to have the same rhythm, which is rare. And by the way, I don't think that necessarily means if you don't have the rhythm, it doesn't mean that you're not compatible.
Right.
But we just happen to have that, which is like, oh, thank God that's out of the way.
Thank God.
I
What
know.
about you, Anna? How long do you wait when you're with someone to talk to them about, I need a little help, or I need you to do this or that, or do you not?
First time, I would say. But I would say...
That's very you, though. Very direct.
Speaking
Yes.
to
Why
the-
mess around? Why waste time?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the faking orgasms thing. Like, how are you ever going to learn? If I'm not doing you any favors if I'm pretending to be having fun when I'm not. But,
Exactly.
I don't fake laugh either. So,
It's painful when you think you're really funny.
I fake both.
good to know, Danielle.
Well, I don't. Well, I faked in my 20s. I made a rule.
I did too. I'd nice.
Yeah, I made a rule where I stopped because exactly what you said. I felt like where I was ruining it for other women too.
Yeah, exactly. They're future replacements.
It's true.
But I will say, for me, I actually, not just I had no idea what I liked and what I didn't like, but my body was not capable of what it's capable of now. And, and also I've told both of you guys this, I went off of a medication that had a serious numbing effect. And so that was a year ago, and it's a completely different world now.
I love this. So tell me about this world.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
It's a good world. Well, I mean, I used to basically not be able to orgasm unless it was like oral sex with a ton of fantasy.
Right.
And
Fantasy in your head. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of work. I mean, serious effort.
How long did it take?
A long time, and it also was never a guarantee.
Right.
And now it's basically just making out. without any fantasy whatsoever. You know this.
I
Your
know, but
eyes
I'm
are
always,
saucers.
I want that. I think that's amazing. I haven't had that in a while. That
amazing.
is really, that's just.
You're as efficient as you are in the workplace.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You've just learned to God damn that numbing. It's like, I'm so glad that went away for you. So here's my question you brought up a good point about fantasy. So when you'd be fantasizing, for example, what were you thinking about when a guy was performing all the sex?
Well, I had a go-to.
Okay.
It was never about somebody else, really. Like, this is actually I never really talk about this. Mine is sort of like it's so embarrassing.
Just say it.
Like
You're
a
gonna feel so
teacher-student situation.
Oh, that's a
and
good
like
one.
the best sex I ever had was with this guy who was like a professor, and we would sort of do a little role playing around that. But that's seriously hot.
So in
to
your
me.
mind, you're like, he's going down to me. I'm a schoolgirl. I was late for class.
Not schoolgirl, college student.
College student. No, but I'm saying.
So it's like
fantasy.
it's a power thing, for sure.
I want to piggyback on that because
Please.
I met my current boyfriend. He was working on something that a project that I worked on, and we didn't talk. I mean, it was a professional situation, and so when it went non-professional, when we went, there's something so hot about that, and I'm still getting off on that. Where it's like, we once had to be appropriate with each other, and now we're finally like, and it's sort of the same. I mean, not the same. But it's.
Was he your superior in this situation?
No,
Or was
but
he
it was
equal?
not. Equal. Yeah, I mean, it was just both of us would have been in trouble if there had been.
Okay.
Yeah, but
no, there is true. There is the dynamic power play. We cannot get away from women wanting, the man with power. It's sexy. It is.
Yeah, and
It's
also
hot.
the
It's turn on.
forbidden.
The forbidden.
It's the forbidden, I think, more than the power thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just so inappropriate.
Right, exactly. That's why Menace used to sleep with all of his assistants and stuff.
All the time. No, I wanted to ask you though, but on the thing where it became more than just a working relationship, what was that moment? Did you guys went out drinking or what? Or
they don't drink,
because that
but-
usually
Great
happens.
question. Yeah, no. What happened
Sober.
was
Sober.
I was under the impression that he was married. And
okay.
Because that's what he told me, and
Weird.
So I we had a very fun-loving, sort of work environment, and so I would shamelessly flirt with him because I thought it was safe. Nothing graphic, but just hey, handsome, stuff like that. And finally, at the end, when the job was over, he reached out to me and was like, "I'm actually going through a divorce, and would you like to go out sometime?" And I was like, my mind blew. You know what I mean? Because I never thought I could have it. I mean, I was like, oh my God.
And then he blew.
Yeah, many times.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
So can we go back to your fantasies? So because I think a lot of times I've always saying to women, and men, but men seem to have an easier time just whipping up fantasies in their head. Usually it's past things that have happened or what is it, Menace?
It's
what do you guys?
porn. It's not
right?
past
Porn.
things.
But with women in our heads,
Right.
do you have a go-to? Did you always have fantasies?
Okay, yes, but I can't. I wish I could have a nice just fantasy. It has to be with the person I'm with. I have had fantasies where it's not with the person I'm with, and I know the relationship is over at that point.
Okay, exactly.
Because the other thing is, as a woman, unless I'm, thinking about Clive Owen, which, by the way, Clive, if you're out there, we can make it happen. But unless I'm thinking about Clive Owen, I want to make the fantasy happen. The person that I'm thinking about is accessible in some way.
Okay, what about when you're masturbating?
Well,
what do you think about?
I'm in a new relationship, so that's what I think about.
Okay, a year
Every
ago.
time?
A year
Yeah.
ago. How about when you're not in a relationship? Do you have a go-to fantasy?
I have some go-to sites that I go to.
Oh, okay. Like what? Oh, share that. That would be interesting.
Oh God!
YouPorn?
Well, okay, so it's super embarrassing, but it's so embarrassing.
it.
I read erotica, but it's not like Norman Mailer. It's not like literary. It's very Penthouse Forum-y.
We're down with that. That's.
But more for women, so they don't say stuff like meat pole and blood stick and stuff like that.
So you read to get.
Yeah, it's a lot more it's more on the Danielle Steele end of it. It's very embarrassing.
No, but that's why they make it. That's why she makes a bazillion dollars.
I used to.
Dude,
for
I've been to her
months-
house. It is
Me too.
insane.
Danielle
Me
Steele?
too.
in there. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
I used to masturbate for months to Twilight. I was reading Twilight, and that was so arousing for me.
Wow.
You
I
didn't
don't
even
read
need the
that.
50 Shades.
I know
Yeah.
exactly.
Sorry, what were you? I was just going to. Is that?
Fantasies.
What gets you off, basically?
Danielle Steele.
Oh, I just talked
Danielle
about
Steele.
that. But what I was going to say is when I was on the medication, I would read the erotica too, because that was kind of the only thing that worked. I mean, a little like you porn stuff.
a little bit.
But yeah, no, I remember. I don't know if you guys remember, like when you were 12 and 13 and first reading that stuff.
Yes.
Wifey,
Right.
the Judy Blume book,
Yes.
forever.
Yeah, forever.
I still remember that she named the penis Ralph.
Oh, I didn't remember
Because I always
that.
hated that name, and I was like, that's the wrong name. And then I don't know if you ever read this book, Lace. It was really big in like the 80s.
No.
And I just remember mind blown.
But did you masturbate to that?
Yes.
I was going to ask you guys these questions. So when did you first, so tell me about that. Was it the first time you masturbated or?
I remember that, I don't know if that was the first, but it was definitely in that era. We also had not a jacuzzi, but it was like a thing called a jacuzzi. It's a portable thing. I don't even know if these are around anymore. And that you put it in the
very
bathtub.
80s.
Yeah, and it turns
Very
it into
80s.
So that hit your clitoris.
Yes.
That's so common to women. Like that have their first
You hear
orgasm
about
in
this.
the
The magic
shower head.
wand in water.
It is the magic
Yeah.
wand in water.
Yeah.
So that was how old were you?
Like 12. I think that was the first year I drank. That was the year.
And then you were like, wow. And then you.
Yes, and then it was so easy to get off. There was just with my hand, there was
Right.
no vibrator or anything
Right,
like
exactly.
that. Yeah,
That's amazing. Because I mean, I've shared this a lot, but I never masturbated once. Never had an orgasm until I was 20. Didn't even occur to me.
Amazing.
What?
I love it.
No, never came up. Never had a shower. It hit me in some odd, random way where it would have hit my clitoris and I'd have an orgasm. But
and
it pisses me off too. By
I
the
have
way,
a thing about that, which is, you do not talk. Maybe Danielle is different. I did not talk to my friends about it.
No.
And I thought, God, it's so crazy that I have this thing that like none of them have, because I couldn't even picture.
Because how would you
them.
know? Right? You couldn't Google it. You didn't. It was a different world.
It was a different world. Yeah.
And so, what about you, Danielle? When you first
so I
discovered
started.
your-
I apologize in advance if this is jarring. I started masturbating at 3. I don't want everyone to get upset. Apparently, it's very common when people
Very
come
common.
from a chaotic household, which I did. It's a self-soothing
Soothing,
thing,
yeah.
right? So because of that, I started masturbating with a pillow as like a grinding.
Oh, I did
thing.
that, yeah.
Okay, I never really graduated. Much like college, I didn't really graduate, and so that's still my preferred method. Now, I have 2 kinds of masturbation that I do. One is when I'm by myself, and it's like due diligence, like I got to get someplace, I'm running late, like that thing. And then I have the sensual, like, I'm on the phone, I'm text with my boyfriend, or we're having sex. That is more like, why did I just say sex so quiet? We're having sex.
You can't say that on the show.
That I use, that I do this more traditional way. But I can't traditionally
Can
masturbate.
you please break those down for us after we take a quick break for our sponsors? I want to come back and hear those 2 different ways you masturbate.
Okay.
Rocks my world.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
It's called
Do you
a
like that? Do you
teaser.
like that? It's called a
Yeah.
teaser.
It's a pillow hanger.
But let me ask you a question, though, you guys. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. You guys, Adam and Eve, they got everything on their site. Plus, you get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. Because I hate when people gouge you for friggin' shipping. 10 free gifts. It's so easy. Go to AdamandEve.com, select any one item. It can be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, a little game to spice up your relationship when you ask each other questions what you want in bed because you guys can't talk to each other. They've got lots of stuff like that there. Check it out. Enter offer code Emily. You'll get 10 free gifts. Go to AdamandEve.com today. All you got to get is one item and you get 10 free gifts. Hello, what is the risk there? None. That's Emily at AdamandEve.com. Quick question. Is anyone else starving right now? I mean, seriously. My days are so busy. I'm constantly running around from meeting to the office to the studio. I never have time to shop or get food. You guys always hear me talk about that. So how am I supposed to stock up on healthy snacks? And I love to snack. In fact, I think I only snack. That's why I'm so excited about Graze.com. Have you heard of Graze.com? Let me tell you this. It's a snack service that delivers tasty, nutritious snacks right to your work or home. And each box is customized to your taste preferences. You can tell them what you like. And they have the dietary requirements. Plus, all Graze snacks come in perfectly portioned packs, great for munching on the go. And if you're anything like me, you probably crave a little variety in your snack drawer, right? Well, Graze.com lets you pick from over 100 handcrafted snack creations to satisfy any craving. My personal favorites, the whole grain banana shortbread dippers, only 150 calories, and the punchy protein snacks. They have a little chili lime twist. They have 7 grams of protein. You'll love all this stuff. Really, you got to check it out. All their snacks are approved by their in-house nutritionists and contain no GMOs, artificial flavors, or trans fats. So you can actually feel good about what you're eating. And they only range from $6.99 to $11.99 per box. Not bad, right? Totally worth it. Go to graze.com. That's GRAZE.com. And get your first box free. What have you got to lose? Except for nothing, because Danielle has something to eat. So go there. That's graze.com, code Emily. Okay, Danielle, tell me about the pillow. Masturbation.
Well, the pillow sort of gradually, like sometimes I still use a pillow.
On your stomach?
Yeah, like in between my legs.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you lying on your side?
Sometimes I'm lying on my side. Sometimes I am upright, riding it, which is embarrassing.
No, not at all.
It is. It's weird.
Not, so
it's weird.
You're like grinding on top of it?
Yeah, I love that you're whispering that.
It would only be embarrassing if somebody walked in and
What's funny is that what I was
is it
embarrassed
the pillow
about.
feels the pressure.
Yeah,
it's like a
because
wedge, like the sex wedge or something. But
Yeah.
do you want a liberator? I feel like we should give her a liberator.
Oh, I
But
would
that's
love
only
that.
for sex, right? That's not for masturbation, or is
Oh,
it?
it can totally be for masturbation. It'll
Yeah.
pelve your pelvis up because I think that's
Danielle's
what you're
birthday
doing.
is coming
I would
up.
probably like it. It is.
Yeah,
It is.
I see you have your
I
Vesper.
do. I have my Crave vibrator on,
Right.
which I
Oh,
love.
I want one of those.
That's your birthday present wrapped up. That's still in my
I've been
car.
hearing about this birthday present.
I know, and it wasn't a lie. Like I
Yeah.
actually wrapped it, and there's 2 other things. Sorry, in there.
It's great.
I gave you a thing. Yeah.
Let me tell you what, I just want to say that this Crave vibrator is not only great for vibration while you're driving, but it is the most amazing conversation starter on the planet. And I've got to tell several strangers that I hosted the AVNs just because they asked me what this is.
Oh my God, I love
Nice.
You know,
that.
I was like, it's a bragging right. I'm
It's
like,
called
the
the
best
Vesper.
necklace.
I know. It's called a Vesper. Go to lovecrave.com, use code Emily, and you get free shipping. It's the most, I know.
Can you hear it?
They've heard me talk about this for months.
Okay.
And literally people stop me on the street. They're like, look what I got. And then my hustler workshop people, yeah. It's part of your birthday present
Can't
wrapped
wait.
with a bow.
Can't wait.
I know you probably think I'm one of those people who lie and say a birthday present for you, but
yeah,
I really
you
do.
would never lie. I can picture myself wearing it already.
I'm not a lie. Okay.
So I can't. So I couldn't have an orgasm just from putting something like the Crave necklace between my legs. But what I could do is I could put the Crave necklace between my legs and a pillow underneath it and use the grinding and the thing. I used to love this thing called the butterfly.
Oh, I know the butterfly.
I've never really found a good replacement for
Butterfly
it.
kiss? Is it insertion or
No,
the one
it's,
that, with the
straps on.
That was one of my first vibrators. It goes around your waist.
Yes,
and the butterfly
and
is
you
like
wear it
on your
during-
clitoris.
So much trouble. Like
I know.
It kind
Wrap
of
it?
is, and I never were able to find a good replacement for
Did
it.
it go
Anyway.
out of business or something?
No,
Why
it's
didn't
still
it-
around.
No,
the
it's still
butterfly.
around, but it just, I don't know. Anyway, it just worked in a time and a
outgrew
place.
it.
But yeah, so that's pretty much that.
Do you use vibrators?
I do sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
But I can rarely have a orgasm from just a vibrator. I have to have something in
Like a
me.
penis.
Yeah, like a
Or
penis.
an insertion
Even-
vibrator?
Yeah, and
clitoral?
go ahead.
Even magic wand?
I don't do the magic wand.
Because it can destroy
Yes,
you
and
for
I already-
ever coming from
It
sex.
doesn't though. It hasn't me. Has it just-
No, but I worried
But
about
I'm
it.
orgasmically challenged as it is.
Well, I think that with those years before, when I was on that medication, that was my only hope. And it started, I don't know, then I had a mental thing. It was like cocaine. I threw it away. And then I went and got another one.
Oh my God.
Yes, because I was actually like, this is destroying any chance of me ever having an orgasm
Right.
with another person.
Then you were like, I need to have an orgasm.
Yes.
Talking about what I preach.
Do you know that it's rechargeable now and they just came out without the cord?
I think that's amazing.
Remember
No.
when, Anna, remember you wanted to go on a hike the other day? I was like, I want to go, but I have to run home and get a toy.
Yes.
I had to go run home and get that because it's rechargeable now out of the wall.
You needed it for the hike?
Next time.
That's how addictive
We
it
were
is.
shooting
You need it
videos
for
in the
hike.
office and Anna was like, I gotta run home and get a toy.
What kind of
I'm not-
videos are you shooting in the office?
Things
That-
with
we
the-
actually did a really funny one yesterday with it because the magic wand is now, it used to be plugged in the wall, now it does. So
That's revolutionary
It
that you don't
really
need a
is.
plug.
You guys, it's
Yeah.
amazing. You can bring it camping, hiking.
It's the
Yeah.
number one vibrator that
30
all my
years.
friends use. So don't listen to me. I'm just like so, you know.
Use code Emily at goodvibes.com.
Yeah.
Get one. Okay, so I want to know, you guys, what, you can ask a question?
No, I was.
Oh, you just.
He was drifting off into
Yeah,
this world
there
of...
was something going on in his head, I think.
I want to know, this is what I want to know. If you guys had any, like what you've learned now, what would be some sex tips that you would impart to your younger self? Like what you know now that you didn't know then. And it can be like about your own body or about what you wish men knew? You could tell men. I mean, just anything.
Well, what I would say is it took me a while to get liberated around certain parts of sex that have been so freeing. Like, for me personally, I don't think it's okay for me to be afraid of cum. It's a very it cuts me off. It's not about the guy. It cuts me off to the connection and the sexual experience if I'm like, oh, could you just come over there?
Oh, so you used to not swallow.
And I used to just be freaked out by the whole thing. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like this? Like, and so what I did is I don't know if I forced, but like I got to a place where I realized how much men like to, for instance, come on the face, right?
Facials. Right.
Once I connected that turned them on so much, I could get turned on by it. And now I don't even need them to really care. I like it on my own.
Right. You learn to love the semen, the blowjob, and the penis.
And not for them, for me.
Like smoking cigarettes. You hated the first one.
I hated the first pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but absolutely. And what it did is, again, I want to reiterate, it wasn't for them. Well, I thought it was, but it opened up all of my doors.
Okay, I would like you to explain this more because there's a lot of women listening to the show and men who have partners and women who don't like blowjobs. They think they don't. They think they can't.
Men who don't like to go down, which is totally freaks me out.
So you did this, me too. But you did this transformation where you actually got into it and you learned to love it for your own time because it made you feel empowered and sexy and you knew and you enjoy it.
Exactly.
This can change people.
Yeah, if you understand how much. I was with, if you understand how much men love that, certain men, then you can understand why you should love it.
Right.
Because it makes, I don't want to say it ups your value, that's so gross, but I mean, like, then it makes them more open. Right. Like, I have such a sexually open relationship because I'm so open, and so it's made him open. He wasn't open before. He was in, a 1,000-year marriage, and he's opened up because I'm open,
right?
And so now I'm getting amazing stuff from his openness. So it's not about,
You give and take. I get it. Like, you're open, he's open. And
balls is another thing I feel like people got to get on board with. I know Anna's going to look at me and go, I'm
not at all. Wait, can I jump in?
Yeah. Please.
No, all I was going to say is I've always loved it. I didn't have to learn
blowjobs, yeah.
No, just like men coming. Like
that's great.
Right. Yeah, always.
It's a Jewish thing because someone told me it was. I was
Danielle is a Jewish.
Oh
God, yeah.
I did not like it. I was just scared. Like, I didn't know what was happening.
No, I get it. You're like, right.
What is this?
It was my first podcast. Go ahead, I'll tell you after. Okay,
I've always liked it. I think I've just always been so turned on by the idea of a guy being so turned on. I mean, it's interesting because it does sort of connect to my like college professor fantasy. It's like I cannot control my attraction. Like that's what does it for me.
Yeah, agreed.
And so I've just always been super turned on by it and like always kind of used to again, like this was when I couldn't really orgasm from sex or when I was sort of trying to keep things relatively innocent because I don't sleep with people right away. So I would always do the like mutual masto thing. I'd be like, oh, hey, Madison's nodding.
We always do the mutual movie, yeah.
Like, what? And I would just get so turned on with that. It still happens.
Can I piggyback off that on a sex tip for men?
Please, yeah. I wanted to get into some tips.
Because this is something that I think is really important. You just said it. What men seem to not understand about women in the bedroom and outside, that they just want to feel worshipped. They just want to feel special. Even if you don't, I don't care how you really feel. Just act. If you want me to be like a slut for you in the bedroom and be open, then you have to pretend that you want me more than anything. And if you do that, you are going to get everything you want. But you can't go in trepidatiously and be like, I don't really like to eat pussy, and then expect me to give you a blowjob. It's not about eye for eye. It's just about like if you don't want to put your face up in it, then I'm like, we're disconnected already. So you just if you make the girl you're with feel like she is like you can't even take the attraction, even if just to get a good blowjob out of it, it's worth
Tell her she's hot. Right.
It's better than an Academy Award.
I would love to go back to one thing about sexual fantasies and masturbation. I don't want to get you off the track, but like I will say, that I have a guy that whenever I'm not dating somebody, I mean 6 years my go-to fantasy. I
You
only
always pull up like one time with him, or is his face, his thing? His
Well, he was
penis?
the college professor guy. Everything. It was everything. Like,
Okay.
it was just, for whatever reason, the most sexually gratifying experience. Dating
I was
him.
gonna
Where
ask-
is he, and how do we find him for
Yeah.
you?
You know, that man was his God-given gift. Like, what he can do is not
How
just...
did you hook up with him?
It's actually kind of a great story, but I don't want to get you too
It was
off
on
track.
referral, wasn't it?
It was. I had a friend
Wow.
who had dated him who said, it's just too weird for me to set you up because I dated him, but like find him and like ask, he was sort of in the
Right.
same field, ask him if he wants to meet. And so it was like one of those
Isn't that
things.
illegal on campus, or no? Not really. Like if you.
Oh, he wasn't my teacher.
Oh.
Okay.
This was
He
like
was a
when I lived in
professor.
New York.
Oh, I got it. He was a professor. Okay, got it.
And then, and there's the quick thing. So we go to coffee, and I'm like, yeah, he's all whatever, he's cute. And he mentions that he has a girlfriend. I was like, what am I doing here? And then he mentions that his girlfriend has a boyfriend. And then he mentions that
He's open.
yeah. And I was like, I can't get involved in this. I can't get involved in this. And so then we were leaving, and he's like getting on the subway, and he goes, so let's go for a drink. And I go, yeah, I don't drink. And he's like, cool, I'll come over. I'm going to cook you dinner and come over. And so suddenly I found myself in this thing that
I
was
love
just
it. So I love that that was your thing that kept
How
you.
long did that last for?
Well, I never wanted to actually make him my boyfriend, not just because of his situation, but it just for different reasons. And so it could last like, you know, a couple years on and off.
Yeah, I get it. I like those ones
still
you
have
just go
his
back
number?
to.
Yeah.
And can you pass
Okay.
it along?
Yeah, I know. I should.
Pay
I
it
should give
forward.
it out for the
I'm not
women
in New
here.
York,
Emily
though.
wants it.
But let's talk about this about worshiping the female, because this kind of reminds me, Menace, I know what you're thinking about the compliment thing. I used to say, joke on the show, I'm like, compliment her 20 times a day.
Yep.
10 times a day. And Menace would be like, come on, then she's going to know that you're really into her and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude,
No, it's just like, I don't know, some guys.
gives him the upper hand or whatever. But like,
No,
you
no,
wanna
there's-
feel-
Yes.
Yeah, but
No,
then
I'm with Menace.
you get walked all over.
Hold on.
And then the woman becomes disinterested in you.
That Anna has a
Menace.
thing.
Yeah.
Anna
I'm with
has
Menace.
a thing. But
You don't like compliments? Like, I want to know.
no, she doesn't want too many compliments.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not saying never compliments
'Cause
her,
it
but
doesn't
20 times a
mean
day
anything.
is
Well,
excessive.
fake comments, like this guy I was dating, his reaction was, hi, beautiful, every time he called me. Hey, beautiful, beautiful.
I
And in the
hate
middle of the
that.
sentence,
But,
he goes,
dude,
beautiful. And like,
I've-
we went out twice. You're
Every
kind of
guy that I've met that she's hooked
prematurely-
up with is pretty much a douchebag. So I
Dude,
wouldn't
that
even
is
like.
so not true. You've not met anyone I've hooked up with.
I've met
Two.
more than two, and the douchebag level is like crazy.
What level would you
highly
put
doubt
yourself
he's
at?
only met two.
At a douchebag level, hopefully at least like a
What's your friggin'
4 or
point?
5.
It's not true.
I'm just saying that your
mean-
judgment on dudes are not that great.
Well, we're similar in that way,
Okay.
at least.
I'm not saying I make the best decisions always, but I think that you're quick to judge people.
I
Yeah.
want
I
to
don't
clarify.
And you're protective,
I want to
probably.
clarify that there are two. I think we could all agree on this if we make a clarification,
Yes.
which is that I don't want a ton of compliments for a guy I'm not into. I also don't want a dozen roses on our first or second date. That means nothing because it looks insincere. What I don't want, I love you every time we get off the phone. I don't want, hey, beautiful every time. You know, I want it to feel sincere.
Like
So
you really you look
Right.
at me, you're like, wow, you look great today. I love that shirt. Be specific, you know, something like you notice your eyes.
My boyfriend tells me all the time, and I love it and can't get enough of it.
What does he
but
tell
I
you?
know he's just like, I love you. You're gorgeous. I love what you're wearing. Like, you know,
And you know it's real.
Yeah, and if he goes, hey, beautiful, hey, gorgeous, we're into it enough now
Right.
that I believe
when
it.
it's prematurely complimenting you and it's too much, I understand it can be overboard.
Yes.
But what we were talking about earlier, though, too, is like just sexually, just having that. Don't you want to feel desired in the bedroom? Like you're so hot. Like if you get
Yes.
naked with a guy for the first time, don't you want to be like, God, your body is so
Oh, absolutely. But I will say like for me, it's like when it means so much, like you know they meant it because they're not somebody who does it all the time. That's great.
But what about like let's rewind to your last relationship and like if you guys like you're a couple months into it and you were like totally like so into him if he had switched from how he was in the first couple months and all of a sudden went like, God, you're gorgeous, God, you're this, and kept going, you would love it.
No, I mean, he was very complimentary.
Okay.
But it just was not constant, and it meant so much when it was.
Okay, I got it. Let's
See,
move on
that's
from this
what I'm
topic.
talking about.
I
Yeah.
get it. Okay,
Okay.
I want to get over to
Menace.
it, but it was just because there's a lot of men who I think just withhold it all. And
Yep.
we want to hear it
Yes.
sometimes, so there's a fine line.
And I think first time in bed, you're right. be marveling.
Yeah, because it's like, then we're all gonna get what we want. And I do it too. I'm like, oh, your penis is smaller than I thought, but we're gonna have a good time now.
Yeah. And don't worry about women having the upper hand. It's like we can have children. We always have the upper hand. So just worship us.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
guys know that you're in charge, but just pretend that, we have some power
Right.
in the
Well, Anna,
relationship.
what would be your one sex tip to men if you could give them one tip now? Because yours was more of the worshiping in the bedroom. Did you give your one tip?
Well, I mean, that I would second that one. I think just like those men who think that like, let's say oral sex is a skill that they have. Remember that it is not like
across the board.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm a good writer, so I'm always going to write in this way. You are right. Like, it's like writing an article for a different audience every single time.
Exactly.
So feel her out, so to speak. See what she likes. It's so obvious when someone's just kind of like, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do that. It's
I'm on the letter G with my tongue. Right.
Yeah,
we did the
please.
alphabet.
Did we talk about pack a lunch down there? Did we talk about that?
No, go.
I've had.
I love oral sex tips.
Okay, well, it's just piggybacking what you said because I've had at least 3 guys in my lifetime be like, I love to eat pussy so much, I'll fucking pack a lunch down there. And it's like, what you just
will
said.
get nowhere near me.
Yeah.
I do not want you to be down there so long that you need to take a lunch break. Because now you're doing it wrong. 2, I don't want the idea of food near my vagina.
actually
It's
unhealthy.
disgusting. And also, why you're talking about, like, I just picture a construction worker with like a metal lunchbox. It's just like,
I've never heard that.
Oh my
picture
God, it's
who said
happened.
it to you.
I've had a few people say that to me over my lifetime.
The last guy that I met that she hooked up with sounds like a dude that would totally say that.
Why, you're so ragging on her right now.
No, I'm just keeping it real.
I'm curious who the last one he met
Who was
was.
the last one?
That guy
San
that was.
Francisco?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
He was awesome. Not the one whose car I crashed.
No.
But that Danielle's point brings me
Sober,
to
with meds in the car.
I know, it was terrible.
story for another time. I want to
Yes.
hear it. I want to hear it.
Okay.
But the men who talk about how much they love doing it, chill out.
Yeah.
Because again, it kind of goes back to the worship thing. I want to think you really love doing it to me, not that it's just your general like
Right, of
love.
course. But I do think something that men can say is a lot of women do worry that he doesn't want to be down there.
Yes.
Insecurities. Maybe I'm talking younger women, like, do I smell bad? Do I taste bad?
Definitely.
And I think when a guy says, I don't want to bring you lunch, but he's like, babe, I just relax. Like, I just love being here. Like,
Yes,
I've got
that's
all night. How about
Yes.
I've got all night and no snacks?
Yeah, I like that.
I like I've got all night or I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Or like,
Right.
I'm convinced my boyfriend likes it more than I do.
Yeah,
And
there
that's
are some men
amazing.
who love it. I hear from men
Yeah.
all the time. We're like, why won't my wife let me or a partner? Okay, guys, what's the best? Can you describe the best sex you've ever had?
Go, Anna.
Well, I just did. I mean, it was
But
that
you-
one.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, well,
Because the
I want to meet this guy. and see
Yeah.
what
No,
he
that
knows.
guy,
I'm having
unfortunately,
sex with-
he's not a sex teacher, and he should
But
be.
like, was there a particular moment or thing
yes.
that happened
Oh
sexually?
yes.
Like,
So he had written this story about, and I'm not even necessarily into this, about tying women up with this certain belt and how he had to drill a hole in the belt to make it work for her hands. Menace, are you taking mental notes?
Yes, I am.
And so he wrote this story, and then he came over for that time to make me dinner, and I realized he was wearing that belt. And then,
Hot.
yes,
Hot.
and then he
foreshadowing.
so he did do like I'd sort of been tied up, but like by people who didn't know what they were doing. And he's like, your safe word. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really living. I'm getting a safe word. I can't believe it. And like, I just, and he did this thing where he blindfolded me. And then he was like, the only rule is you cannot beg. And so then he would like come in the room and kiss me and leave. Then he would come in the room and sort of like touch me and leave. And I'd be like,
Oh, it was
come.
S&M-y.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would be like, come back. And he's like, nope. Because you did that, I'm waiting. And it was like so
Teasing.
hot.
And the
then
building and the arousal.
and then he would not have sex with me that night, which was all part of it. And so then the next time we met, he's like, I'm making you lunch, come over. And the minute I walked in his apartment, he just attacked me.
He's very calculated, though, in his way, because he
I
knew
think
if he had sex
so.
right, it worked.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
great.
hot.
Yeah,
Okay, now
he's-
that's my new fantasy
Yeah.
to go to, but I don't. You and
You can take it.
I don't fantasize. Well, we'll see.
What?
Okay, well, I don't fantasize about you per se. I haven't.
You haven't? No, but I thought you meant in general.
But I'm gonna take the fantasy and put my face there on top of yours.
Well, good. Good.
Danielle?
Well, I
Danny?
think I would have to say that, there really isn't anything hotter from somebody. I don't know if this is my weird validation thing, but there really isn't anything hotter than being the first piece of pussy from a guy who's getting out of a 17-year relationship.
Oh, that is hot.
Yeah, it's almost like fucking a guy out of prison.
Yeah,
It's just like,
he must be so excited.
Oh my
God, it was so amazing. You know, it's amazing on the mental and physical level, which it's always mental and physical, but I mean, like, there's fantasy, there's, you know, the first time, and it just like, and also there's like this feeling of like I'm doing like God's work, and you know, like I'm being of service, and so like it just worked for me on all levels, and so that was pretty mind blowing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more question, then emails, real quick. One thing you've always wanted to try in bed but have not yet.
Well, I think I've talked about this before. I did anal when I used to do drugs, but I have never done it sober, and I really want to.
Lots of lube.
Yep,
Lots
that's
of lube.
what I keep
Slowly
hearing.
ease into it. I'll give you some lube.
What about an enema?
No, you don't need to have an
See,
enema.
Anna can't take this.
No, you need to like just make sure you have like a lighter lunch a day. Your bowel's empty. You'll be fine.
But what's a light lunch? Because like if I have like a salad, that's raw vegetables.
Well, make sure you go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Anna,
Porn
clearly
stars say
that's
like
not
bread
your-
and water or something. like that.
Okay.
Anna can't take it.
When I was
We'll
on
talk
Attack of
about
the Show, I would get anal sex questions all the time, and I still get mail from men who were like, I can't believe how anti-anal you were. And I realized it's sort of like we talk about, like, there are many ways to get sober. Like, just because I would never do it does not mean that it's okay for me to, like, put that on any of my opinions.
But it just grosses you out. That's fine.
Yeah, I have, like, asked things. It's like LSD. I never needed to try it to know I hated it.
Right.
You know?
Okay, got it. But did you give us your okay.
What would you do?
Oh, that I haven't? I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything that I haven't done that I would want to do.
Great. So
Wow.
you're filled. Okay, let's move into emails. You guys help me answer
I'm
emails?
ready.
Sure.
Okay. Hi, Emily. I have a bit of a problem that you may have addressed previously, but I really need someone to expand upon. I've been at my current job obsessing over every aspect of it for the last 3 years and rose from the role of extra hand on deck to the CEO's assistant. Problem is, about a month ago, I led into temptation and had my way with the boss. Late 30s, married with children. He's been a mentor and huge part of my life for several years, and I have feelings for him. He's been talking about leaving his wife for me the last few months, and it's almost like we're in a boyfriend-girlfriend-like relationship. My company is failing due to issues outside his control, and it's destroying me to know I may not be with him daily soon. What do I do? She's a female. She's 22.
Oh my God, get the hell out of there. That is a disaster.
Except that, do you remember how impossible it was to get out of things when you were 22 and that deep in?
Because you think it's
you
like
don't-
it's
you don't-
love, you're going to love no one.
You think he's
can't
going to leave the wife.
Well, not only that, you would have no pain to reference. Like, that's the
Right.
only thing that gets me out of situations is that I've been through such gnarly pain that I can go, I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, yeah.
She almost needs to, okay, so she's in a crappy situation, but if she can't wedge herself out of it, which I completely understand, then she may just need to walk through it and deal with the pain, because she's going to get hurt. She's going to get hurt no matter what.
He's not going to leave his wife.
Even if he does, it's messy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that no one talks
His
about.
kids.
Not only that, he cheated on his wife with you. That means he's going to cheat on you with somebody else eventually.
Likely.
Yes.
Right.
You know, and you don't care right now because you're so hot for him, but like, you know, it's just not, it's beyond like impossible. It's possible and it's bad.
But everything surrounding it is really
It's so
bad
seductive,
too.
yeah.
Which is
It's
why
so
it's such a
good.
turn on.
That's
Which
right.
it totally plays into my professor fantasy, by the
Exactly.
way. So it's super, super hot, but it's just got sort of disaster all over it. You know, I will say, you know, I once got involved with a married man, and it was the most painful thing of my life.
Same here.
But I remember being told, you got to do it until, like, this whole, like, don't call him, don't do this, don't, you know, is never going to work.
Right,
Because
she's going to be. I want to tell her to quit the job right now. If the company's failing, you should secure yourself and go get another job.
I
But
do
she's
think
not gonna
that's
do
a
that.
good recommendation.
But I don't think she's
But
gonna do
this
it.
whole, like, we can't do this anymore is, like, the biggest lie that two
Yeah.
people tell each other.
Yeah,
You guys
so-
are talking so much sense right now. It's crazy.
Well, see, here's like, so if she wants the real direct advice, in my opinion, the real direct advice is find a new job, block him on everything, do not return his calls, done. That's what you should
That's
do.
what you should
You're not
do.
going to do it.
Yeah, you're not. That's what I'm saying.
But
Like, I
there's
can tell
no
you
other
this.
way around it. The good news is if she just keeps doing what she's doing, she's going to get into so much unbelievable pain that she probably won't repeat this behavior.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that
I never
That
did
is
again.
Amazing advice.
so it's a win-win, really.
Yeah, and you're going to need a new job anyway and take care of yourself. And this guy's not leaving. You guys, that was a killer.
Again,
he
even if he
might.
did,
Yeah.
he's going to cheat on you, and you're going to have to deal with the wife and the kids
And
and
you're
the
going to be a
custody.
stepmom
Yeah, possibly of 4 children.
at 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a job.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's do another one. Hi, I love your show. Been listening for a while. I'm a 36-year-old girl living in Santa Monica, California. I've been on literally 500 dates and finally found a great, smart, and funny, Jewish, very important to me, guy. We've been dating since April. The chemistry is awesome, and so is the sex. He just dropped a bomb on me stating he's moving in 2 weeks. He's moving back to Austin, Texas. Said that finding a job here, he's a writer, has been a struggle. His mom's health is deteriorating, etc. What the heck? Do I even bring up anything about continuing this relationship or cut my losses? I'm so sad he's leaving. I also don't know how to see him over the next 2 weeks without crying all the time. Thanks so much, Kay.
Well,
I got another one for that one.
Okay. Do you want to go first then?
Well, what I'm going to say is that I understand that the relationship is going amazing, but it's been about 3 months, which is that you're still in that honeymoon period. And let's look at the facts. He has an ailing mother who he feels so responsible for that he's going to move back to Austin to take care of.
But I don't think that's that unusual, that part.
But if you have a life in LA, like
He does, and he's having a hard time getting writing jobs
exactly,
too,
and he's not
which
going to
is
get a
another
writing
side.
job.
He's not getting in Austin.
So he's down on
He's
his
not
luck,
getting there.
and his mother's dying. So you can't go to Austin with him. Let's just take that off the
I
table.
don't think she asked that, though, did she?
But no, I think
No.
she's saying, I don't know what I should do. I mean, what are you
It's hard
going
to
do?
say goodbye.
Have
Mourn
a
it.
long-term relationship?
No, don't have a long-term relationship unless you want to move to Texas.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, sort of just to back Danielle up, it's sort of the same thing. And and a guy that would drop it like that after sort of like indulging in this fabulousness since April is,
Desperate. He's desperate.
Well, and I was telling Danielle this morning that my therapist says red flags don't exist, but red flag.
Yeah.
Right. If they don't exist, why? Because we don't see them, so therefore...
No, my therapist just told me this week.
What?
Red flags are a misnomer because someone can do something once and never do it again. Someone cannot do something in the beginning and do it a lot later.
That's true.
It's true, but
This is different
I
because
guess
you
right,
only get
it's
once
different.
to do it.
But I will say that what's happening is that I think he's getting out of the 3-month like la la land, nothing matters. Real life is setting in. He's got financial fear and he's fear about his mother's health, and he's bailing. And it's not that he's a bad guy. It's just that you're getting on a sinking ship. This guy needs to deal with his mother, get his life back on track, and then be ready.
Right.
It's
She's
very
been on 500 dates. She finally felt she found the one. We get it. We've
If
all
she
been
thinks
there.
here's what I will say: if you think he's the one, fucking move to Austin with him and take care of his mother with him. If you think he's the one, really, then that's what you should do. None of this long distance relationship
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
Unless
totally.
you see it, I don't know what kind of job you have, but that's true. You got to cut it. Again, same thing. But it's going to be hard. You might cry.
But you can't know he's the one at 3 months. I don't think you can know he's the one at 6 months.
That's
Right.
why I don't believe she should head into a whole long distance thing, because then it'll still be great. That's just extending the whole period of getting to know someone when you long distance.
Also, I do think this is a guy when he said, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. If he was like moving, there was an option. If continuing everything was an option, he certainly would have brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a desperate, fearful move, and a man that's in that position is not going to be a good partner because men need to feel like men in order to show up in a relationship, and this guy is not feeling like a man right now, even if he's into you.
Exactly. When men are suffering financially or jobs or creative, their work-wise, it's hard for them to get it up and to want intercourse.
And it's actually, interesting that the two emails are very related, like the man on the sinking ship.
That's true. Oh my God,
I have
didn't even think
so
about
many,
that.
my whole dating life is a Titanic. I have been on so many sinking ships.
God, I mean, I don't know that I've been sinking ships. Maybe, I don't know. I sank them.
No, I mean, I feel
think
like I
that.
have a thing.
I think Danielle subconsciously has sought it out.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that I'm.
Oh,
you know
you've
how they
started,
have,
like, drama.
do you know how they have Captain Save-A-Ho? Have you heard of
Yeah,
that? Yeah, I'm like the
definitely.
female version of that.
Really?
Yeah, even though I shouldn't be because I don't have any money and I have nothing to offer, but I somehow I think subconsciously I feel like it's my duty to save people, and then it's like a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
You think they're going to change?
It's a weird form of codependency.
It's very
God, you guys are awesome.
unhealthy.
I love you guys being on the show. You just come back and we'll just do this every day, all the time?
Any
Or
day.
oftentimes?
One email that you did want to mention.
Oh, thank you very much. from the last show. Anna was on my last show a few weeks ago, Online Dating. It was a very popular show. It was killer. And Anna, you can tell the story. Anna got a nice email after the show.
Very nice sounding guy. A nice email from a guy
Cute.
who was cute.
Yeah.
Who was coming here, who, complimented me on what I said on the show.
Quoted her.
Whatever. And then he was here last week, and we were going to meet up, and then he's so nice. And it's not that, it's just I got a little overwhelmed by the emails, and I just ended up not do it. And so...
Cut to yesterday, right, Madison? I get an email because I've already vetted her email.
Yeah.
And Madison forwards my feedback. She goes, "Oh, here's the guy." Because I was joking in the office. I'm like, Anna gets a date from the show. I don't get dates from the show. And then Madison says, "You don't read all the feedbacks right away. There are a lot of guys asking you out." I'm like, "But this guy's super cute." Anyway, he emailed me as well. The same exact email that Anna got. The same exact picture. The same exact jokes. I was like, at first I was like, this is familiar, and I click on the photo. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, give me the email so I can send it to friends to use.
But that's not even true, because then we also have the same, What Should People podcast.
We ended up on a date with the same man on the same day.
We were out with the same man on the same day.
You guys are both petite, really cute girls. You know what I mean? So you have, I understand why men would like both of you. It's a type thing.
But
what?
They were on the same show. How do you expect them not to talk to each other?
Oh, that guy.
So dumb.
Right, exactly.
But I do want to say he seems really nice.
So nice. Someone else, you should email Madison. No, she just email Danny.
I don't think. I don't think men realize how much women talk.
Maybe not.
We talk to each other. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
And men don't. Men will get an email from a girl and not bring it up. He probably didn't think you guys would ever talk about it.
Right.
Dude, we talk about everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Okay, so Anna, where would you find you?
AnnaDavid.com, but I really don't do anything there. So After Party Magazine, and I do want to say Danielle is the number 2 there who does everything. So if you were amused by her too, there's Danielle Stewart is all over that site.
I am.
It's a great site, and I actually read your site, and I'm not sober.
Right,
but I think about
you love
it. Sometimes. I like that. I love the idea of being sober.
Yeah, and it's for anybody interested in being
It's
healthy.
a good idea.
It's really about just being healthy, because I think we all a lot of people walk the line. They're, have questions about it. It's
1 in 3 are mentally ill, but I'd argue 1 in 1. Kidding. I mean, whatever. And also the podcast After Party Pod. Download iTunes, Stitcher, all that.
Cool.
And then you can find me at daniellestewart.com. Also, I've written almost 200 articles for After Party Magazine.
Yep. And
you can find me on Twitter at the Danny Stew. DANISTEW.
Oh, okay. Menace, just Menace on Twitter. MENACE. And Instagram.
It's the first time you've done it.
I know.
Ever. It's hilarious.
I know. I love you. I love you, Menace. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was super fun. And thank you, Madison, for all you do and producing and being wonderful. Also, did I mention the New York thing that I'm going to be in New York? I'm going to be in New York September 18th to the 20th for the Sexual Health Expo. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, when are you coming to New York? I'm coming to New York. So come get tickets. I'll give you more information about that when it comes up. And was there anything else? Reading another workshop? We don't know. Okay. I love you all. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all Sex with Emily. Thanks for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, people, this is the deal. If you want to get yourself a special present and you have a penis, or you have any special penises in your life, you should probably buy them a fleshlight. It is the #1 sex toy for men, and it is the only one that you want, because wouldn't it be amazing if you could actually have the feeling of having sex all the time, but maybe it's something that feels better than sex? These are masturbation sleeves that are actually invented by NASA. This material, they all feel different. They have bumps and ridges, and it's just, you wash it out, and you mind-blowing orgasms. And now they have the Fleshlight Go that just came out today. That's even lighter weight, and you can take it with you on the go. Get it? But it's still discreet and awesome, and all the things you love about it. And I'm just telling you, we've been talking about this for almost 2 years on the show, and I've never had one guy say, "Why'd you make me buy a Fleshlight?" or "Why did you encourage me to buy it?" I hate it. Every guy's just been like, "Oh my God, it blows my mind." Different kinds of orgasms. Use it with your partner. Use it when you travel. Use it just instead of your hand one day. So have a good time with it. Go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Fleshlight banner, use code Emily, and you get a free bottle of their award-winning Flesh Lube. Check it out. Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.